Hey, how's everybody doing? Good morning on this wonderful day where I'm going to promise you at the end of this video, you're going to see how to end all corruption in government. I mean that this is going to be perfect because it's up to you this time. As you learn the message, you can pass it on to others. And the first thing you're going to learn is the secret of duplication. When you learn the knowledge, you can pass it on to others. When they pass it on to others, this process continues. And before we know it, we can reach millions of people with a message when we have the strategy. Right now, everybody knows the solutions. Few dedicate themselves to the strategy so much that they can realize that there's a niche, there's a technology solution, and implement something as simple as common artificial intelligence and create a solution to disrupt $1 billion industry filled with uh, non-transparent transactions, fraud, all kinds of waste, and importantly, protect and associate ourselves as citizens, patriotic for our country, with ownership of the industry that which qualifies the most meaningful ballot initiatives, referenda, recalls, citizen grand jury, and getting candidates on the ballot. That's 5 ballot measures that are available to us as constitutional amendments, statutes, charter amendments, and I'll tell you, there's so much to go into in each state. It's all different everywhere, but yet there's commonalities, and we're going to explore all of it and bring the knowledge to you as an owner of technology. I'm going to make a promise. If you wait to the end, you'll know the last step, the one step, the most important step you can make to get active and be activated in supporting the network and growing a team behind a new monetary system. The dollar is collapsing, although there's great promise with Trump in the markets being first to ring the stock market bell since Reagan. He represents free market capitalism. We are against a soft tyranny of socialist desires from our taxes. All the economic models prove that socialist ideologies and tax systems have all led to disaster, and there's so much data on the topic. I personally woke up listening to various economists and realizing that there's alternatives to what the mainstream narrative promotes, and the money system was a lie, with the Federal Reserve spending stealing from all of us and future generations with inflation. So my name is Nicholas. I've been petitioning as a professional activist for conservative issues and issues independents would vote, and some associated with liberal issues as well, for 24 years. And I'm proud of what I've done. And there's basically two options. The future will provide the ability for you to make the decision to choose to be involved and make the difference in the world, to vote on policy and change laws, or wait for government to do it, wait for politicians, promote the ideas of politicians getting elected and wait, hope that they can win and have the governor and the Senate, the legislature all signed up. And states are ultimately the sovereigns. We have to recognize states' rights and the constitution of the states combining for a strong federal government. We have to do it right. We have to protect our states from overreaching federal powers, from any future governments that could take power over us, with all the media and propaganda and all the biggest corporations financing their campaigns. The independents who are wanting to be free from corrupt sources have woken up. And I represent these people that are sick and tired of the left right paradigm. And ultimately, what the Democrats and rhinos have taken away from true politics related to freedom and liberty and justice. And the more taxation, the more desire the state has to use force to take the hard earned income that you have made from you. With the threats of coercion, you obey as a citizen. And ultimately, they take your capital that could otherwise be spent and help other people, their businesses, their families, away from them, and expect you to believe that they're going to be able to spend it in a way that in the end is going to make your life so much better than if you and the community had just done it yourselves. So, that being said, I support voluntarism, but the Project Ballot AI combines ideas, and we have a very strong emphasis on getting local business owners involved in policy and involved in the narrative of public policy change. After all, the economy is up to business owners, and so we promote entrepreneurship and financial literacy. Furthermore, Cryptocurrency and blockchain is the future, and blockchain enables smart contracts. Smart contracts automate payments with no middlemen, no need for lawyers, because payments won't be turned around or lost. They will go immediately to the wallets of the sender's desire and consent upon pressing the send button in their easy to use wallets. And it's up to each individual to have our own right to participate in the economy, not the major banking institutions, even though we can take loans from them and pay them off responsibly. The credit payments do not need to be theirs. And there are millions of dollars siphoned out of the local economy. So we're going to revert that back to the community and let business owners choose policy choices to stop overreaching power of the federal government, to have a stronger representation for patriotism and a discussion among these issues. So that's why we are introducing a broad idea for the initiative quorum to make sure people can debate on the blockchain, have social media conversations and putting bets towards winning debates, where the winning debates with the most consensus win prizes proportionally to those betting, equal distribution. And we will be sponsoring token development, which allows us to invest in cryptocurrency, volatile, speculative assets for policy. From there, policy assets are born, which can be liquidated for spending to create permanent grassroots campaign centers for national and then international and absolutely international support systems. We can decentralize the model, have a holographic model, so to speak, where every individual stepping up to a management level who wants to take those steps can control their organization outreach and invest themselves into their idea of building a community behind change, helping them see through the process of transparent fundraising with our services, explaining them to you just as I am to you now. And the point is, you can do the same. And so it's not about me and what I can do, it's about you and your network. In fact, and us talking about the open constitutional rights that have been available to us the whole time. That's a big secret, is that it's always been available and the people haven't used it, because by last year we could have already fixed all the various problems within our states if we knew about ballots. The year before that, that is the election year before that, and so forth. Moving forward, if we even got to 2026 and you were not a participant in your own state's direct democracy, that is creating referendum to stop bad laws the state government passes, initiative to create new laws to reverse and revert back away from corrupt laws the state has passed. That's very important. To have recalls to remove politicians that are sitting now that we need to replace. We have to have recalls. And there's no reason we can't do that. We also have citizen grand jury to have justice for what happened during the Biden administration, Obama administration, and before. There's no reason why we can't follow through understanding these principles and make it happen. So my promise to you is to expose the shadows of our constitutional rights, the occulted rights that we have, so you could even write ballots, learn how to use AI, train the AI to write ballots for your state and take action, learn how to build the committee and file it and file the ballot measure and follow through, creating everything you need to be a leader. And we want to be 100% beside you, behind your back, having a clearinghouse for all the various ballot measures together, all of us working together, synchronizing, supporting, piggybacking, as they say, the leverage, the group build of one another, because there's so many campaigns we can get ordinary people in. It's the campaigns that get people active. We're here to support the overarching bridge between campaigns that connects their supporters to build the permanent ballot access network, because it's just about numbers. Strength in numbers determines how many signatures we need, and it determines if we can get the signatures in time. And we can get them rapidly if we just have enough people to do it. The average time we can have in each state is about a year. Some states actually very minimal. It's 90 days in California, last I checked. So it depends on what state you're in, but in some states it's so lenient. And in my state, we have about a year. 250 people getting a couple pages a week can get all the signatures we need. And yet people don't know about this. That's just a page a week that's going out to the market, going out anywhere, getting signatures, telling people to sign for all this, that, and the other issue, and we can vote on it. Now, there's another giant secret. It's not just that we've had these rights and we can change laws. It's that we already have the numbers of people that can do it right now. I can draft a ballot measure. I've had many drafted right now already in Arizona. I've drafted ballot measures for other states, and we just need to take action. If we wanted to, you could do the same thing. Tell two others they could do the same thing. Tell two others they could do the same thing. The point is, after simply a couple months, perhaps, of people taking action every week to at least find two people to hear the message, that they themselves could preach. It's basically preaching. It's calling to action. It's about making a decision to be part of the collective consciousness, to take the most concerted effort, understanding the knowledge of the Constitution, how we have rights for the direct democracy embedded in the First Amendment and the policies for election reform, that these rights were either implemented by popular vote when pressured at one time, a forgotten time. So it has been occulted and hidden from us. We certainly have forgotten today. There's still lots of ballot activity. People don't know about it, but it could be such more meaningful change, ballot activity that should make waves around the country. So what I need you to do is start learning about it. There's an excellent site. I'm on there. It's called ballotpedia.org. They're an archive of information. And I'll educate you about all kinds of things regarding this process. The thing is, today we have technologies, and these technologies can create change. They can create instruments, and through those we can streamline all kinds of organizations. So what I'm doing is sharing with you that we could already accomplish these goals anyway, even without the technology. But with the technology, we have tremendous leverage. And with the technology, we can take over an industry that is corrupt, solve a massive problem, capitalize on stopping the waste in the ballot access process, ensuring the benefit of so many more ballot propositions potential, with the ultimate ability to lower cost and at the same time pay investors back, and to create a lifetime of liquidity provision and yield, that is to earn interest off of the future of direct democracy projects worldwide. Now, 3 apps have been built. I'm going to tell you. Let me ask you a question. If you were a petitioner or someone in a business that wanted to promote, could you make a lot of money faster with direct promotions potentially on a weekend or anytime you wanted? And would you benefit from an app that simply allows you to search in your city and find all the busiest stores and malls and locations and gatherings of all kinds and markets, organized in a list, and events, and those that are in public properties where it's all open to the public, you can walk and roam, like fairs and festivals at the park. If you could find events like this in your city, in your county, in your state, and you could just type a button to get that information, would that be of value? So I've been a petitioner for 25 years, and I often had to scramble to find places to work. I had to look up on the maps, look for the biggest types of stores. I basically had a navigation, but I would miss a lot of events. I would miss a lot of festivals if I hadn't taken the time to look for them and realize there's a festival maybe in another city in the state. And now I realize that I would have a solution to just pinpoint the best spots, and it would be competitive. It would be a competitive app. There would be collision if too many people were to sign up for the location, so it would have a feature implemented where people would sign up and book down the locations, and then other people could get the second best locations, and there wouldn't be collision of people running over each other trying to all market maybe even competing products in the same place. If there are different products that could probably work together, and it'd be great. So we could talk about that, but would that work? I'd say yeah. So what if you had an app that did that? And let's say now this case in elections, which is our main focus with Ballot AI, we are working with free market benefits too, but that's the point of the Signer Finder .live app. That's going to help find any signers, help any people that want to pass out flyers or do any kind of marketing promoting, finding the groups and crowds of people to get into whatever you need to talk about. Then we're going to help petitioners with an ability to stop all inaccurate signature collection before the people sign. This is an ingenious way, if I say myself, to click a person's ID into an AI to quickly generate a report if they're registered to vote at the right address or not, and if they've signed any petitions or not, to prevent all the duplicates. Campaign managers managing a state, multiple campaigns now prevent waste and fraud and inaccuracies, and they get the validity done beforehand, only helping the petitioner in their interest scan it without bias. So they can't use the lists to find a name. The petitioner will not be able to do that. The AI will verify that it was in fact a valid ID, and they'll tell us the information. We've tested it out. We have the MVP ready. And, would that help you as a petitioner make sure you can get higher quality? The answer is yes. So as a petitioner, like I said, for about 24 years, I would both need to know I have the best locations and the best validity. Sometimes the highest volume locations have potentially even lower validity. It depends on the demographics, depends on a lot of things. Maybe even the petition that you're doing can attract people that might not normally vote, or be one of those people that is just kind of negligent about their voter address awareness, and they sign and they had moved, or they put an address they didn't update it still shows the old address in the voter database. If I had those two apps to find the people and verify them, it would be amazing. And I've been a coordinator for many years. I ran a business. I still do. I run Liberty Economy. I'm registered in Arizona. 11 years. How many years? Since 2000, end of 2011. And I contract people for the petition industry in California, mainly, where I have just the greatest contracts. I'm working on the next contracts now with the software. As a coordinator, I would want to make sure that my petitioners aren't turning in fraud for those that they don't scan with the ID scanner. Okay. And I also want to make sure their validity is up. And when I can check it automatically, quickly, I don't have to hire a worker. I don't have to manage a worker. That saves me a lot of time and energy. I don't have to manage an office of workers when I have a lot of volume. I could be processing hundreds of thousands of dollars of signatures and have AI that rapidly does it at a fraction of the cost, beat any other competing costs. And that's the point of Ballot AI. So someone in the industry can use the software to have complete transparency over the petitions, and even have an escrow service with a pay from the proponent is locked into a smart contract. So only when the people actually have that signature turned in, has been validated, the paper's been handed to the coordinator, do they get paid. And it's all a proof of work. All the records are protected. It guarantees that there's no need for litigation with the state if they claim there's inaccuracies. We should be able to resolve it just by showing them the software before court. We also protect ourselves from a lot of things, and we do it immediately. There would be delays in payment, which could help every campaign. It could be where 100% of the pay is on the spot. You help the day laborers really get organized, turn in when they want to, get paid on the spot, no delays, and the work is smooth. That's the goal, to make the most transparent system in the industry, cut out all the middlemen, use a blockchain smart contract as an escrow service. And we're investing in that, all these three apps. So if I had that program to automatically do validity with AI and scan this soft handwriting, I could also sell that to the state for their double check. They could just check it again themselves, maybe run some slightly different algorithms. So we could start playing around with advanced AI, see if they find inaccuracies, see if they find something where it's just the signature that's a forgery and the other information, something like that, because no one's allowed to sign in the other person's handwriting unless they're disabled. They would want to disqualify with that. I don't think that's fair. I'm just saying, maybe that's a bad example, but we need to recognize they would want this as well. And it's not biased. Maybe they'd realize that we'd have a perfect record. It would all match. That's actually what would happen. And then they would start realizing, oh, we can rely on this software. And when it's been checked by the software, they don't need to spend money on it. At that point, we could save the state who knows how many million. Actually, it was like $30 million the last election in California. I'm bound to be 40 million this time, maybe another 30 million for this election. We'll have to see after they count it up next year, early, in the year. So that's basically what it is. We get to have transparency in the industry for the first time, and all fraud. And workers don't have to rely on trusting people with no transparency, where they always scrape off the top. And there's so much crime. I've personally been ripped off tens of thousands of dollars, and I'm going to sell this software where a petitioner can check most of the validity, at least with a good handwriting themselves. And once they at least have about 20%, when they have collected over 100 signatures, it's pretty accurate. So the AI could do that. And at that point, they have an audit, and the coordinator says their validity is far less. We could challenge it. And then they could sue them and put our competitors out of business if they don't buy our software. That's an interesting point. If they don't buy our software, we would put our competitors out of business, because if they are in fact committing fraud, they would be getting away with it, of course, because they don't have our software. Our software creates a transparency for the petitioners and the coordinators. They have to buy it, or else they're not in our league. What petitioner would even want to work for a company that doesn't have the fastest validation and complete transparency, when they can get paid on the spot? Well, they have their trust issues, but I have a great track record, testimonies, and I'm already doing what I've planned to do with the AI with a human, simply using a digital upload, scanning and uploading, and having a human check in advance. And I've paid people 100% on the spot. I created a decentralized ledger with Google Sheets, and I have a system. The AI is going to integrate with this. I can do it already. Campaigns in California are going to be a hit. There should be many other campaigns, perhaps now in Florida and Nevada, are on the horizon. So I'm working actively to achieve these goals. As a political consultant, I've worked on two campaigns where I ran them. No, more than that, because I've done some candidates, 2 actual ballot initiatives in Oakland. Oh, a third one in Oakland that was in Ballotpedia, the recall of Gene Kwan. I ran those. I had the office. Yeah, the first couple were really good. The Gene Kwan was not so good. But otherwise, I've been a contractor in this industry, worked for the top campaigns, and collected the most signatures of most petitioners in the whole country. And I know all these other top petitioners as well. And we are capable of getting anything on the ballot. If we have full access to this technology, if it's available, we are going to change the world, and we are almost there. So right now, we are developing the staking mechanism. Then comes the decentralized autonomous organization. We have actually already the decentralized, we have the aggregator, which is a type of trading system, and we're building a decentralized exchange where we can have our own liquidity pools. And this is crypto lingo. If you don't understand, don't worry. I'm telling you because it means good things are on the horizon. When you learn about these things, when you're part of our team, we are here to share. Trump is a Bitcoin president. He is going to take Bitcoin to the moon. We know he's going to have very friendly policy. The FTC will have friendly policy, we believe. Everything's going to work out great. But Bitcoin is unstoppable anyway. So we're going to take advantage of the situation and lead and front run the masses and get in now and start utilizing Bitcoin and its associated ecosystems. I'm here to guide the public into decentralized finance as a service. There's free services to get introduced, and advanced service where I teach really exciting stuff, the way to capitalize when you're truly excited, when you're truly ready to dive in. That way I can make a small but reasonable profit for my time and investment to build out the explanations and trainings for you. I will teach plenty of it for free. That's why you want to subscribe to the channel you're watching this on, and you'll have much to benefit from. Now, I'm getting ready to go to the most amazing conference. America Pack owes me a lot of money, but it's going to be cool. And the conference is really positive. It's called, excuse me, it's America Fest. Okay. And I have sponsored the program. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody, passing out cards, building my website at night, just like I'm doing now, and just getting out there, getting supporters, token owners, really building out this program. And my devs are ready to deliver. We have so much momentum. We just launched ballot.finance. It will be ready for staking soon. And you need to be part of that. So you can participate in deciding what policy you want to change and monetize on the popularization of the asset class related to your most concerns in society. An asset class that's new of its own, apart from other cryptocurrencies, that perhaps similar to how a charity could be funded. We are going to have a group growth concept of a coin as an insurance for its value representation, and simultaneously liquidate a portion while we burn the other half, reducing its total supply. So people then proportionally own more of the total supply and their value goes up while we take tokens out of that ecosystem, convert to US dollars, pay the workers for this development of the startup. We'd actually remove our crypto. The banks or work with a crypto friendly vendor. Ideally, we will convince them. That's our goal. And then we will be able to create a center for the policy of choice. And we have policies. We have lots of policies to talk about. I'm here to get you involved. So you want to follow, be a part of the upcoming policies. You get to decide on the future policies as long as it limits government, does not require taxes, because taxes require coercion. And the problem is the use of force and violence to take from somebody that they didn't earn in order to supposedly help others, when the very act of taking hurts that very individual giving, and does not need to happen as long as people can voluntarily support the services they want and have a minimal government. We need to have our rights, our freedoms, not have the government imposed on us, ultimately reduce government size in a progressive way, but not as the left terms progressive, but to reclaim the original meaning, progress in terms of limiting government. That's progress. And we can do that. That's what the founders of the Bill of Rights did with their 10 First Amendments, especially. And if we look at these, we can see we need to have the most limitations on government for obvious purposes, and we should follow in the footsteps and be the declarationists for our new constitutions ourselves, create the actual change in the policies we want. So be part of it. Don't delay. You have choices. Money's good for spending on material things, but it can also be converted to an energy that can give us the power to stop all corruption in government. You can get all kinds of information online from people talking about the problems the government's created, the problems that are being exposed, all the corruption. Trump can do so much. That's great. But where's the information you're looking for to actually know you can stop corruption in your state yourself with help of your community? That's what I'm here to do. It's our community, which is based on unity of the left and the right, on common sense, that discards these old paradigms and realizes we're one America. We need to be principled in logic and start solving our problems, our moral problems, our economic problems, our ecological problems, but do it fairly, do it without the use of big government, and let the people have options and awareness of what potential there could be. Give the future a chance. That's what I say. And we cannot make excuses in 2026 that if Trump didn't solve every single problem that exists. If we did not take action, you can't make any excuses for taking some responsibility, because the answers are right here, right now. And I'm telling you, we have the ability to create a ballot in minutes with the AI prompting that I can deliver, create the ballot, file it, and create a political action committee and get the organization set up so people can start gathering the signatures. And that's priceless when there's a time limit. You can volunteer, we can push the narrative and get the volunteers, but there's costs involved to manage things. We need to get the promotions activities from many other individuals all across the country to take action and step up. And that has a cost. So when we buy lattes, when we go out to the theater, when we do things with our money and we spend it, remember, is there a use of our money that supports our lifestyle, that would in fact improve our future, that we could otherwise associate some of it with? Is there something that you could potentially invest in that could also pay you back immensely, not just in terms of stopping corruption in government, but also financially? Because we're talking about creating a new economic paradigm of the financial tool, the instrument, the monetary unit for ballot access. Imagine if we democratized ownership of the entire industry. So you could have money that you spend on ordinary things, which includes excuses for not participating in solving the problem. Or you could transfer that to a new monetary paradigm of ownership of solving the problem. Because our cryptocurrency gives democratization of the industry related to the AI services that solve all the problems in the direct democracy industries. And we are just beginning with a few apps. We have several more to be in development with continued support. When I get my payment, I side video, but when that payment comes through from America PAC, Elon Musk's Political Action Committee, they owe me tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands estimate. It's speculative, but hundreds of thousands. I'm waiting on getting it because all that money is going into this project. Think I sound like a crazy kook that Elon Musk owes me money, but it's on my X profile. I tell you my story. I'm a professional petitioner, highest paid petitions we ever had in our lives. Invested my hard-earned money in this industry, into this project. We have a staking app coming out. We have a pump fund type of system where we can make our own tokens, but it'll be really controlled by a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, where you get to vote with your money to be the start of a new token project that other people can speculatively invest in. And we're going to make all kinds of amazing things happen with a decentralized exchange and a referral program, and then an escrow service. We'll talk about more with USDC. Then we'll have partnerships. We'll do cross-chain partnerships. We'll build on various blockchains, have lockups, and then the NFTs are launching. We already have the beautiful 3D rendered Ethereum NFTs for virtual gaming and a whole story behind that. You got to check out the website and dive into it and research. I've been building it out so you can see the whole story. And we have a new money system based on the direct democracy industry that you could be a part of. So there's two choices. If you consider just these two, what we're talking about, money, dollars versus the cryptocurrency, a scarce asset with limited supply. Dollars have unlimited supply. Ballot AI token has scarce supply. Now, you might say there's other cryptocurrencies to invest in. Why not just hold Solana? Why not just hold Bitcoin? Why not just hold Bitcoin is one of the hardest ones because it's Bitcoin maximalist. That's a whole nother video. But if you're even open-minded to cryptocurrency, which also has greater pumps and can do other things, such as Bitcoin is crashing, other cryptocurrency can go up. So an obvious trade over into that cryptocurrency could be advantageous. We would like to encourage a hedge system with our staking apparatus. So we are in fact working to create a type of stabilization of our cryptocurrency that will serve in the bear market to grow, in fact. But we can also take major gains in the bull market to find our relative and fair market value. So it will be a speculative asset nonetheless. And I have personally said goodbye to the old monetary system and keep 98% of all my money in cryptocurrency. And you can say goodbye too if you want to invest in yourself, because we are going into the bull market. If you did it now, I will not leave this video up and promote it when we're going into the bear market. If it's old, you may not want to buy. I'm not giving financial advice, but we have not even begun to go into the bull market according to all the statistical references on potential for Bitcoin now. So being that case after the halving, I'm full on in. And I was so 4 years ago and 4 years prior. It correlates with the elections. So it does tie into the ballot AI narrative. And I said goodbye to the old monetary system, and I'm going to use ballot AI as a hedge. And I do now as a stablecoin reserve for gains that I've already had on Solana. And I knew now the time, and because there's going to be another election narrative, and there's various election tools and civic tech that could be a narrative, and AI tech that definitely is a narrative this bull market. So we can get in now, and front run the rest of the people that will find out when we start doing the promotions, when we start really marketing, as we are beginning to now. And that way, later, once we get such a huge market cap, take some profits, feel good you did, participating in the growth of our whole organization, really for the provision of helping liquidity move. That way, large clients with millions of dollars that fund ballot measures in states across this country and other countries around the world, the proponents, the groups of organizations that fundraise can have the most efficiency, transparent system, and you get to own a part of that. Part of the profits will go back to those that are stakers, NFT stakers as well. And that way, we really value our early investors and give them stake in our revenue on the blockchain indefinitely. And we will be competitive in our prices, yet we have an ethic to help out all causes, as important as they are, within whatever their means may be, and to do an efficient, fast, and fair job. That's our goal, to be as fair and profitable for our stakeholders. We have the AI that is a game changer and disrupts the entire industry, cuts out all the middlemen, and there's nothing they can do about it. And it's great. So, based on that, we need to realize that if you only had one time to invest in this, would you want to be a part of it before early investor opportunity was too late? What if it reaches a substantial fair market cap and settles because the need is ultimately the market cap that will be balanced with the program? And there will be a lot of speculation, but there will be a median value for this program long term, and it will become more stable as it becomes recognized and be at the very top of the market cap. I absolutely see this project in the top 100 because of utility and how it directly takes over the entire industry radically with simple AI tools explained earlier in my talk. And you have to recognize that these are useful. Even Signer Finder, for those not in the petition industry, is so useful. You just go to signerfinder.live when it's all ready, and you'll be able to find the biggest crowds, the biggest organizations getting together, the groups in the parks and the fairgrounds, public utilities, any kind of farmers markets, any kind of places the public gather where you would have the right to petition in general, and all the private properties. So you can strategically work in the gray area of the law and get signatures and promote or do whatever you need for any business, promote flyers or get contacts for anything you need to do, promote our project with our referral program, perhaps.